I'll call this meeting of the Carthage City Council to order on Tuesday, September 23rd. Chief Martin, would you please give the invocation?
Yes, Your Honor. Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight. We thank you for our health and our ability to be here. We ask your blessing and comfort on those who may be suffering or in need. Father, examine our hearts, fill us with your wisdom, so that the fruit of our efforts will bring glory to you and you alone. In Jesus' name I pray.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Miranda, will you please call the roll?
Peterson,
Present.
Gilpin, Cifuentes,
Present.
West,
Here.
Perkins,
Here.
Thorne,
Here.
Kane,
Here.
Snow,
Here.
Schramm,
Here.
Wells.
Here.
All right, 10 for 10. I know you've all had an opportunity to take a look at the minutes. Any comments on the minutes from the last meeting? All right, if there are none, I'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, Alan, did you raise your
I
hand?
would make a motion to approve the minutes of our previous meeting.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Any presentations or proclamations? We have none tonight, is that correct? I'm sorry?
I believe I have a presentation.
Well, are you mean for public comments? We're going to move those right now. So, all right. So we will now move on to public comments. Anyone wishing to address the council, please step to the podium, state your name and address or your business address, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. So, whoever would like to speak first.
Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the council, my name is Jennifer Shotwell. I'm with the Area Agency on Aging, Region 10, which covers Barton, Jasper, Newton, and McDonald counties. My office address is 531 East 15th Street in Joplin. I'm here before you tonight because I received a phone call from Mr. Ray West about some rumors going around about the Carthage Senior Center. The Area Agency on Aging operates 6 senior centers and 9 separate meal sites across 4 counties. Carthage is one of them. I always like to say thank you to the City of Carthage that provides that building for us to operate in. It's a wonderful place, and it's a place where older adults can come together in community and share a meal. The rumors going around is that we're closing. The second rumor I heard is that we're no longer going to serve real food. The fact of the matter is we will not be cooking on site the hot menu items, driven just sheer economics. I provided you with some data. You don't have to really look through it. I'm a data junkie. But the fact of the matter is, over the last 10 years, our federal and state funding has increased a whopping 4.4%. While our wages over the last 10 years have increased by over $1 million a year. We went from 67 employees, we are now down to 52. So we've seen that massive increase in the cost of labor. Our food costs have gone up $450,000 annually over that time period. And you all know it, you've been to the grocery store, your dollar just doesn't stretch. And as a nonprofit organization, we don't sell anything, so we can't increase any prices to offset that increase in cost. So in the Osho, in that senior center, we cook for Jane, Lanigan, Diamond, Granby, Pineville, Anderson, all comes out of that kitchen, and the food is transported hot to those meal sites, and everybody gets the same hot meal that's prepared in the senior center. We are going to do that in Carthage as well. The food, believe it or not, will come from Lamar, our senior center up there. We did a time study. It's actually quicker to drive from Lamar to the Carthage Senior Center than it is from the Joplin Senior Center over to here, just due to traffic. What people will notice is nothing. We are still serving hot freshly prepared food every day of the week. Senior center hours will remain the same. I want to reassure everyone that we have done this model throughout McDonald County, Southern Newton County, as well as out in Golden City, and have had zero complaints about the food. In fact, I spoke with a woman in Granby whose friends go to the senior center, and they were concerned about the quality of the food going down if we do this. And yet this woman, as we were speaking, I said, well, you're here, what do you think of the food? And everything was thumbs up. It's simply catering. You've all been to a convention, a business meeting, the food's hot and fresh. But financially, we are up against it. As a nonprofit, like I said, we don't sell anything, so we can't increase prices. We have done the same thing for 50 years. It's no longer viable. So we have to change, and my goal is to not have the older adult that comes to the senior center notice a single difference. I mean, we're just operating more efficiently. So rumor is we're closing, we're not. Barring some other catastrophe, COVID, government shutdown, those things. We'll be open every day. And we sincerely thank the city for the opportunity to be here in Carthage. So on a lighter note, very quickly, I know I got 56 seconds left. Out of the senior center in Carthage, last fiscal year that ended June 30th, we provided services to 748 people out of that senior center, 59,950 units of service. That included almost 30,000 home-delivered meals to those people, Meals on Wheels in Carthage that need them. About 9,060 meals at the senior center, and a plethora of other services. Other services that we provided to Carthage residents, not from the senior center, but from out of our central office, totaled another 211 people for another almost 10,000 services. And those services include transportation. We fund the Carthage City Taxi heavily, as well as other transportation options like cars that Economic Security is running, OATS. We provide in-home services, wheelchair ramps to the people that need them. We care about the citizens of Carthage, and I just wanted to reassure the council, if you have constituents that come ask you, did you hear the center is closing? We are not. Like I said, it's the model's the same. You're still going to get a hot, fresh meal at the senior center. So with that, I can bore you with 100 other statistics because I love the data. I love what we do. There is no reason why an older adult should eat alone, and the Carthage Senior Center prevents people from doing that. That's 9,000 meals that weren't eaten alone, and pretty proud of that. So I can stick around if anybody has any question. My time's up.
I got a
Yes.
question. And you had to release or cut your personnel
Yes.
here in back in order to cover your costs?
Yes, in the last 10 years, we're down about 15 people, mostly kitchen staff, and just changing the methods that we use, how we cook, what we provide. And of course, after COVID, our total numbers have dropped way down, and they've never come back. So we're kind of struggling there. It's a 50-year-old model. We have to think differently about how we operate so that the older adults get the same services.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Do you have a contact information you could leave with us?
Sure.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Any other council members have any questions for Jennifer? Great, Jennifer, thank you very much.
Thank you. Tracy, I didn't get you a packet.
Oh, I made her a copy.
Thank you. Thank you all.
All right, anyone else wishing to address the council?
Good evening, Mayor Flanagan and council members. My name is Kami Kulo, and I serve as the city clerk for the city of Aurora. I also have the privilege of serving on the Public Relations Committee for the Missouri City Clerks and Finance Officers Association. This evening, I'm honored to be here to recognize your city clerk, Miranda Deal, for earning the designation of Missouri Registered City Clerk through the MOCC FOA. This certification is no small achievement. It requires significant hours of professional education and practical experience. Miranda has shown great dedication and perseverance in meeting these rigorous standards. The Missouri City Clerks and Finance Officers Association is made up of over 600 members and is committed to the ongoing education of city clerks and finance officers across our state. With ever-changing statutes and regulations affecting municipalities, it is essential that clerks remain informed and up to date. MOCC FOA works diligently to ensure that the training and resources provided are relevant and practical for important work city clerks do every day. We also want to extend our appreciation to you, the city officials, the elected officials, for supporting Miranda in her pursuit of certification. Your encouragement reflects an understanding of the value this knowledge brings not just to City Hall, but to your entire community. In addition to her role as city clerk, Miranda is actively involved in the Southwest Division of the MOCCFOA. She currently serves as treasurer and chair of the Budget Committee, has also served as chair of the Audit Committee, and has contributed her time and talents to the State Bylaws, Oversight, and Silent Auctions Committee. On behalf of the Missouri City Clerks and Finance Officers Association and the Public Relations Committee and Miranda's colleagues in the Southwest Division, it is my pleasure to present her with a certificate of appreciation in recognition of her achievement and service. Congratulations, Miranda.
Tracy, can you get a picture?
Point of view.
Thank you, Kami. Anyone else wishing to address the council this evening? Yes.
Good evening. My name is Mark Salazar, and I live in Webb City, Orinoco City Limits, and I currently manage Playmakers Batting Cage in Joplin, and I have a nonprofit called Light Sports, and we're based here in this region. And just a little baseball history here. Here's a Mickey Mantle World Series t-shirt from when I was 16 years old, Kalamazoo, Michigan. And so a lot of great memories growing up as a kid on the ball field, and it is my desire to try to partner with the city of Carthage and to help bring back and restore Carleton Baseball Stadium. And so I'm looking to partner with you guys and potentially manage that. I have experience in doing this over in San Diego. In San Diego, I managed Cactus Park in Lakeside, California, where I came alongside the city and we managed the field, controlled rentals and whatnot. And whenever you have multiple teams playing, you have rentals so we can take care of the field even better. So no one was making any money off of it. We were strictly just going in between the city to take care of the fields. And so that is one of my desires. A little bit of background on me is that in 1996, a long time ago, I was one of the top 100 baseball players in the country. And in 1997, I turned down the third round of Houston Astros to go to Long Beach State on a full scholarship out of high school. A year later, I got in a major car accident at Long Beach State in a just freak accident. 4 months after that, another car accident. So after that, I fully rehabbed and was back on the pursuit of playing pro baseball. And November 4th, 1998, I gave my life to Christ. I got saved. A year after that, felt called to go in the ministry. So for the last 25 years, I've been following Christ. And right now with Light Sports, we use the platform of sports to share the gospel. The reason why I want to give you that background is I have a deep care for kids. I understand where they're at in the ball fields. And the things they're going through these days. And so it's huge that we give them an outlet to be outside and be physical and whatnot. I also want to give you that background too, not to brag or boast about anything, because at the end of the day, I'm a nobody, right? I never played pro ball, never made a dime doing that, but it's the woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Story, but God had a different plan for my life. And in order to be a top 100, which led to me being the top 3 catchers, which I ended up dueling out and became the best catcher in the country. It takes a lot of hard work to be the best at anything. And so throughout my whole life, I've always had a strong work ethic. I tried to be the best at everything that I do. And I want to portray that to you guys. I'm going to give everything I can to help make that field the best we possibly can. I want to give our players, our kids, our families the best opportunity to have a high quality field. And if you haven't noticed, everyone tends to leave this area for tournaments. They go to Oklahoma, they go to Arkansas, they go to Springfield, they go everywhere but here. I believe we can bring baseball back here and host quality baseball tournaments. Along with that, as I managed the field, and I have some documents here of how we managed the field. I also have another document that we actually brought a pony baseball league back to the field. I believe that we can bring a league back over to the ball fields as well. And so there's a huge desire for that. Everyone thinks they gotta go somewhere else, but we can do it right here. We have quality ball players, quality families. I have one of our supporting families here with us today as well. I have parents who grew up in the area who played on Carl Luton Stadium and have great memories, and now I'm coaching their kids on that field, and it's just very nostalgic. And I believe that we can take what we have and just continue to increase that. And so in the last few weeks, as we've been looking for a field, we came across Carl Luton Stadium, and when I first saw it, I didn't see all the overgrown grass and it's a dead field. I saw, wow, this place is awesome. It's got great bones. And so as I began to make phone calls to the city and speak with Angie and others, I just like, well, what can I do? And I think they thought I wanted to revamp and redo everything. I'm like, no. We just want to help get the playing surface. So we brought in a nail drag, and I spent from 10 to 4, just one day alone, just nail dragging over and over and hand scraping all of the old dead grass out there. So now you can see the dirt back. About a week and a half ago, we actually had a 3-way game. We had 2 other teams out there. We already had some scrimmages out there. And a little fun fact, as I got 38 seconds, is one of my parents, who actually played AAA for Toronto Blue Jays, pitched on that field when he was a kid. He says, Mark, the field's always been off. The mound and home plate has always been off. So I went back the next day, stood on the mound, and did this. I'm like, it's off. I went over there, eyeballed it, went to home plate. As I went to home plate, I dug it out and moved it over where I thought it would be. Tape measured both corners, tape measured the corner. As I did that, I'm like, well, we got to find a place to put a peg in for first base. As I went and started digging, hit a rock. I'm like, this is horrible. As I kept scraping, it was what I believe the original concrete from when Mickey Mantle played. Dead center but here's the thing, the treasure hunt was you have to find the corner of home plate to line up everything else. And so once we found first, we found third, we found second, everything was perfectly dialed in. We didn't have to put any pegs in, it was right there. So my hope and my prayer is that we could revitalize that field. I would love the opportunity to help manage that field for you guys in whatever kind of partnership and open to more conversations. So thank you for hearing me out.
Well, thank you for your time. As you probably know, we're getting ready to welcome a new Parks and Rec director, and between Richard Bonine, which is his name, and Ms. Schramm down here, who heads our Public Services Committee, I'm sure they'll be reaching out to you and see what is within the realm of possible.
Sounds
So
great.
thanks for your dedication. Jack.
Comment, Mark was here last Thursday and somewhat detailed what he can do with the old softball field, which is fascinating. To make it a softball field for youth and also for larger groups of people, and I think you're well on the track. I appreciate what you're doing.
Appreciate you.
Any other comments or questions for Mark? Alan?
Well, Mark, I would like to thank you for what you do. Last week, we were up in St. Charles for a Missouri Municipal League meeting with city officials from all over the state. One of the city aldermen from Oronogo is a mother of one of the boys who is working with you and playing ball for you. And she spent 20, 30 minutes telling the mayor and I all the great things you're doing. So I look forward to seeing more, and I thank you for what you've done so far.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Any other questions for Mark? Thank you very much.
Would you like me to leave any of the material? that I
Please, please.
You guys like my business card as well, or?
Sure, we can take contact information.
If you want to give it to Jana, she will be one of your contacts.
Thanks for speaking tonight.
Here's two
Thank you.
copies.
Okay.
Here's some business cards.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening,
Good
Mayor
evening.
and Councilman. I'm Eileen Sherlock. I'm the Executive Director at the Carthage Crisis Center. I had the pleasure of being here 2 weeks ago to introduce myself as the new executive. I gave you information about adding the GED program and the HiSET program to.
Can you talk into the microphone? Thanks.
I gave you, the 2 weeks ago, I gave you the opportunity to know that we've added the educational program, counseling, Christian counseling at the Carthage Crisis Center to help our mission. And tonight I wanted to introduce Mark Miller. He's a successful candidate of the 120 program known as the Jasper County Jail Treatment. And I wanted him to have an opportunity to, as a vital part of supporting the jail ministries in our center and having the people, the most vulnerable people coming into our center. I just wanted him to have an opportunity to speak.
How's it going, guys? So I really want to reposture your perception of the Carthage Crisis Center, because a lot of people think of it as a homeless shelter, and that's not really what's going on. It's a transitional living situation where that you can be given the tools with which to get back to real life. It's really an opportunity that's not available very many places, and I've been a lot of bad places. I've seen a lot of this stuff, and it's a really different type of situation than you can get anywhere else. So your continued support is the goal.
Thank you.
So, you know, with the 40 people that we have in the building, the residents that we have there, the perception has been that we have mostly drug addicts or addictions or some kind of substance abuse that has brought them there. However, we have 43% of the people in the building are victims of domestic violence, or they have aged out of foster care. So we have residents as young as 18 years old coming in from a foster care system that has either allowed them to fall through the cracks or to not have proper people in the community, members of their family or somebody to be able to help them. So I just wanted to kind of be able to speak to council as a vital part of taking care of the most vulnerable people out there, that the perception has been that it's a willingness that they are coming to us broken by their own means, and sometimes it's them being victims of circumstances within their life. So I just wanted the council to just kind of know this community rallies around the Carthage Crisis Center as a mission and a God Centers program. I just wanted to let you guys know that that we are having more educational opportunities and more discipleship that we're pouring into the center, so that when they leave, we're having them transition as disciples in the community. So we're doing a lot more prepping on finding out what their gift is from God, so that they can go out and disciple that and have a relationship with God, so that they don't start to just repeat the same offenses or come back into the building by dating somebody that's violent, so that they find themselves in a domestic violence situation again. So we're doing a lot more educational and training with the God Centers program, so that they don't come back and they're not revisiting homeless shelters elsewhere. Okay, thank you.
Any questions for the Crisis Center from council? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to reports of standing committees. Budget, Ways and Means, Alan?
Thank you, Your Honor. Budget Ways and Means Committee is currently between meetings. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is October 13th at 5:30 here in council chambers.
Thank you. Committee on Insurance, Audit and Claims, Derek?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Tonight, before council, the CIAC met a very light agenda, but we did approve the claims that'll come forward here shortly this evening. And then we approved moving forward with the same health insurance plan and provider for the city employees. And as Tracy noted and our packet reflected, no change to any premiums or anything, which is great. So we approved moving forward. Status quo there. And that's all.
Okay, thank you. Public Safety, Alan?
Thank you, Your Honor. Public Safety Committee met last.
Derek, can you do a motion to?
Oh, duh, yeah. Well, we can't put that into effect if we don't do anything about it. So, yes, at this time, I would like to make a motion to accept the Anthem health insurance plan as it has been prior.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept the Anthem insurance plan. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Now, Alan.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll start again. Public Safety Committee met last night here at 5:30 for our rescheduled monthly meeting. First item we had on our agenda, we discussed handicap parking just to the south of the corner of 4th and Lion by a citizen who owns the business right there on the corner, requesting that we convert a regular parking place to a handicap parking spot. We voted on committee to forward that to Public Works, to have Public Works bring that up at their meeting for consideration. We also met with Trish Mixon from the YMCA about the annual Maple Leaf 5K. So at this time, I would like to make a motion on October 17th from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. We close George Phelps Boulevard from South Grand to Clinton Street for the Maple Leaf 5K.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to close the streets noted by Alan for the Maple Leaf 5K. Any discussion?
What day was that?
That is October 17th.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Ms. Mixon also requested that we have police officers stationed on East Fairview Avenue at the crossing of South Grand. No, I'm sorry, at the crossing on East Airport Drive at Clinton Street, and also at the entrance to Fairview Christian Church parking lot during those times to help prevent any accidents with the runners crossing those streets. We also, on our agenda, discussed a donation from Backyard Discovery, and I'd like to read a letter that was written to Chief Martin and members of the Carthage Fire Department. On behalf of Backyard Discovery, we are honored to present this letter of intent confirming our commitment to donate $2,000 in support of the Carthage Fire Department. This donation is given in recognition of your outstanding service during the recent fire at our warehouse. Your swift action, courage, and professionalism were instrumental in protecting not only our facility, but also the safety of our employees and community. We're deeply grateful for your dedication in a time of crisis. The funds will be provided directly by Backyard Discovery, are intended to be used at the discretion of the fire department to further mission and enhance its ability to serve the community. In our packet tonight, we have Resolution 2101, and that is the donation from Backyard Discovery. And also there is the city administrator donation report that shows that they're willingly giving that donation and not asking anything in return. We also discussed a grant that the police department is going to submit for some equipment for the prevention of violent crime, and that was on our agenda as acceptance of the grant, but they are just applying for that grant, so we have not received it yet. The last thing we had on our agenda was discussed the annual Night Under the Stars cruise-in that the Sheriff's Department does to raise funds for their Shop with a Deputy program. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion that we close 4th Street from Main to Grant from 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. for the annual Night Under the Stars cruise-in for the Jasper County Sheriff's Department.
Second. I have a motion and a second to close the south side of the square for the cruise-in. Any questions or comments?
Ray.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Staff reports, Chief Hawkins told us about a couple of retirements coming up in the future and an officer that is going to be leaving the department. So they are actively recruiting at the police academy. Also, I would like to give a recognition last week on KSN TV for Hispanic Heritage Month. We had 2 of our officers that did an interview. So I would like to recognize Officer Janine Hinosa and Detective James Azusa for their interviews. I don't know if anybody had the opportunity to see those, but they were really good interviews. Really talked about what it meant to them and their families for them to be in the law enforcement career, and especially here in Carthage. The last thing I'd like, Chief Martin talked about an accident that happened out on Highway 96 last Friday, and it was a pretty serious accident. It was also on the news if anyone saw that. But the fire department was able to respond and get medical attention, get a helicopter here from Springfield and all those things. This same crew, the A crew, also dealt with the accident last month out just outside of Carthage. So at this time, I'd like to give just a mention of recognition to Captain Brady Gerstner, Lieutenant Brett Henson, Engineer Mike Hull, Engineer Rick Williams, Firefighter Dakota Jones, Firefighter Colton Guerrera, Firefighter Derek Moore, and Firefighter Davis Martin, along with Training Chief Brian Calhoun and Deputy Chief Eli Maples.
not actually an open drink as you would think. It's one that they can sell other than a 12-pack or a 6-pack. They can sell single cans. The liquor license at the golf course has been granted, and Tyler has documented policies and procedures that will be in place to adhere to the requirements of the license for the staff. There will no longer be outside alcohol allowed on the course, which is a big change for us, but at any golf course that has a liquor license, they're not allowed to bring, no one's allowed to bring outside alcohol to the course. All alcohol will be purchased in the pro shop, and Tyler had provided example signage to be placed in the golf carts and in the pro shop. He also provided the letter to address change for alcohol sales to events so tournament sponsors would know what to expect. They may be able to purchase the alcohol for the tournament from the pro shop for cost plus 10%. I make a motion to approve the sales of liquor for the golf course.
Second.
I have a motion, a second, approving the approach for sales of alcohol at the golf course. Any comments? All right, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
And that was all the motions, but I wanted to say Jonathan Roberts from the YMCA gave a summary of activities from the municipal pool and central pool for the summer. The pool was open 68 days and had an average of 110 visitors per day for a total of over 7,500 visits. The central pool in Central Park, the little wading pool, was open 35 days and had an average of 36 visitors per day. The swim team had 43 swimmers who swam 49 days and 1 swim meet. It was a total of almost 14,000 visits from local and visitors to our pool this summer. July 4th was a free swim day and had 757 visitors. I wanted to thank Jonathan and his aquatic team with his director, Amy, for creating a practically flawless summer of swimming for the youth in our community. And our next public services meeting will be October 21st at 5:30 p.m. here in council chambers.
Okay, thank you. Public Works, Derek.
Public Works is currently in between meetings. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, October 7th, 5:30 here in council chambers. Thank you.
Thank you. I now entertain any reports from special committees or board liaisons. Derek?
Yes, thanks, Mayor. On behalf of the Planning, Zoning, and Historic Preservation Commission, tomorrow evening, they will be holding at 5:30 here in council chambers it's the Walker Collaborative, who is the entity who's put together the Historic Guidelines Design Project. Now, it's a lot of information, so they've certainly encouraged council members to come and see all of that. It's not a quick hitter one-page document, unfortunately. It's quite a bit going on, and I think it'd be very beneficial. But nevertheless, that will be tomorrow evening as a special meeting where the Walker Collaborative will be giving a presentation in detail on all that. So council and public as well is certainly encouraged to attend. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Right.
Kellogg Lake Board met on September the 10th. Extensive agenda. There's 15 items that was on there. So for time's sake, I'll just give you the major pavilion in the park should be re-landscaped and railed, should be repainted and repaired. Things like that. And out of all those items, every one of them is in some form being acted on right away and attempting to complete this list before the next fishing day, probably, if we can get it there. So anyway, they're very active and they're doing a very good job out there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Any other reports? Jack?
This is a 3-part report for the CWP meeting, which was held last Thursday. I will talk about new business, which is pretty mundane, but consideration of bids for Ford Explorers. They're going to buy 2 trucks. They're going to buy a 3/4 ton 4x4 crew cab truck. And then there was quite an extensive discussion regarding health insurance proposals. and that was voted on. That only affects CWEP employees. There was a RFQ, request for quote, for the sub 4 transformer, went out on the 22nd, which is yesterday. That will be placed in the industrial park. Feeder line 20 is continuing to be worked on to supply power to the transformer whenever it's allowed, whenever it's put in. Then I have here in internal documents, 11 pages of everything that's going on, activity, projects, completed, near projects, future projects, et cetera, et cetera. It's quite detailed and it's very interesting. But what I want to mention, CWEP has a lexicography of acronyms. What the? So anyhow, the first one is a CAIDI, Customer Average Interruption Duration Index. On average, any CWEP customer who experienced an outage for the month were out of service for 52 minutes. The month prior, CAIDI was 78 minutes, and last year CAIDI was 35 minutes. The full average for utilities in the state of Missouri was 165 minutes. I think that's fantastic. The second is SAIDI, System Average Interruption Duration Index. Of all CW customers, the average customer was without power for 1 minute during the month. The month prior was 54 minutes, and last year was 12 minutes. Full average for utilities in the state of Missouri was 217 minutes. The last one is SAIFI, System Average Interruption Frequency Index. Of all CWEP customers, the average customer was interrupted 0.02 times during the month. The month prior was 0.69. Full average for SAIFI for utilities in the state of Missouri was 1.33. And I think these are the most important statistics relative to the operation of our magnificent utility. Now, I want to relay events that I was personally involved with. I was in Cleveland, Ohio, August 14, 2003, where the Mohawk blackout occurred. The grid went down in 8 states and also in southern Ontario, affecting the city of Toronto, affecting 55 million customers. And the average duration was what started at 29 hours up to 4 days. And I'm going to tell you, the impact was total chaos in the city of Cleveland. And I mention that for the reasons that there are a lot of bad people in the world wanting to do bad things to the good people in the world, and that primarily is to take down the grids. Because if you don't have electricity, you don't have water, you don't have sewer, medicine, you name it, no gasoline, no nothing. And it would be the start of the disintegration of society. I saw it firsthand. However, there's a young man at CWEP named Jason Peterson, who is our protector for cybersecurity. Stays well ahead of attacks, people trying to shut down the grid. And I just want to have a shout out to that gentleman, and the people of Carthage should be very safe, feel very safe, that indeed, if something happens, we're going to be good. We're going to be okay. We're not going to experience total disruption of our lives and our society. So that's my comments about the meeting. Thank you.
Any other reports of boards or commission, or board liaisons?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ron?
I'm on liaison with the county commissioners, and been doing that ever since came on board this time. Along with the mayor, we attend that every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. The average meeting time, I would say, runs about 5 minutes. You're in there and out. Lots shorter than our council. But they accomplish what they need to do and what they need to have done. Only main thing during this period that I know of really importance is that the courthouse had a major honeybee problem up in the tower. And they had to pay a significant amount of money to have an individual come in and remove those bees, those honey hives and everything up there in the tower. But other than that, it's really a short meeting and we get in and out of there real quick like. That's all, Your Honor.
Okay. Janet?
Yeah. I'm reporting from Vision Carthage. They have their Restoration Carthage Volunteer Day is Saturday the 27th. However, they're full up on volunteers. So if you see people out in the community working, it's because of their project. Dumpster Day is Saturday, October the 4th. It will be from 9 to 12 at Fair Acres Sports Complex. And I was just going to list off a couple of the companies that's helping them. They're now accepting medical equipment, so any medical equipment that you have that you want to bring in to be reused, please bring it. They have secure paper shredding. First 200 tires processed are free. They must be off the rim. Scrap metal is accepted. And Carthage residents only, please bring your address verification. They're getting help from Innovative Industries, from Carthage Police Department, from Carthage Public Works, from Reliable Roll-Offs, from the Y, from Pro 100, Republic Services, the City of Carthage, Carthage Recycling Center, Region M, and McCune Brooks. So bring out on October 4th, it will be by the Y at the Fair Acres Sports Complex from 9 to noon. Also, they have, find a paper, Community Christmas Planter Competition. There's more information coming for that, to how to decorate our community with the Community Christmas Planter Competition. Their cleanup day before Maple Leaf will be cleaning up the route and cleaning up planters on the square. It's from 8:30 to 10:30, October 11th. Meet at the light tunnel, which is right on the square. You will see it. And volunteers are needed for that. Harry S. Truman Transportation Advisory Committee, I posted this online, the most recent list of Missouri's unfunded needs is available on the Missouri Department of Transportation website. It was developed in collaboration with regional planning partners, the Harry S. Truman Transportation Advisory Committee, which I sit on, totaling approximately $4.7 billion in road and bridge projects needs and $1 billion in multimodal needs, which is biking trails and trails. This list is divided into 3 tiers, with Tier 1 containing high priority projects that can be addressed as funds increase, followed by Tier 2 and Tier 3 projects beyond the current time frame. Public input was gathered through July 2025, and the list helps guide the development of future projects within the statewide Transportation Improvement Plan program, which is STIP. MoDOT completes 3 rounds of scoring based on safety, economic benefit, and other factors. Some projects may ultimately rise above the others in priority, which we have, I lost my paper. The Chapel Road and HH that's on Tier 2 out by the intermediate school that's important to our community for safety for parents and for students. Tomorrow, I'm meeting with Jeff Meredith and Will Klein from the Harry S. Truman Traffic Advisory Committee. He's the transportation planner, and Tracy, to talk about the next projects that are in the tier program and see if we can change priority on that and how we would do that for our community to benefit our community. So that's tomorrow. But I meet with the Transportation Committee about every month, and sometimes they switch it to a quarter. So I'm glad to be on that to get Carthage move forward with our projects. That's it.
Good, thank you. Any other reports? All right, we'll move on now. Guess it's time for my report. I think everyone knows our boards, committee, and commissions are generally full. We did have one resignation on the planning and zoning, and I'm working through a nomination to come to you to fill that committee back to full strength. We have no active hiring committees going on right now, as everyone knows. Chad Deininger, who's sitting in the back of the room, as well as Richard Bonine, were approved by council last month, or last meeting rather. We did have a meeting with the engineering company that's going to work with us on the next version of the sidewalk expansion. This is going to take sidewalks from the square and work out. We met with the initial team that's taking a look at that. Obviously, the biggest probably talking point was, how do we learn the lessons of this work around the square and make sure we do a better job going forward. Most of that, of course, boils down to communication, and I think we're on good shape there. And that won't start for a while yet anyway. I was able to get out and link up with the fire department at South Station here a week or so ago, and they did their grain silo rescue training exercise, which was very beneficial, and identified some equipment needs that they've got to get replaced out there, and I know Jason's all over that, so that's straight. Our bridge committee, which Derek is working on, continues to collect information and data, and this is on looking at all of our bridge portfolio, which is extensive and generally dilapidated. So we've got some challenges there, but there's a good group that are working that for us, and we'll expect some stuff going forward. We did attend, as you heard, several of us attended the Missouri Municipal League Conference last week in St. Charles. It was very interesting. There were a lot of different breakout sessions. I'm sure some of the council members will address it as we go through. There was one mayoral unique session, which they pulled all of us in a room, and the general topic conversation was the same one I mentioned to you a couple weeks ago from the mayor's call, and that is a statewide concern on the part of the mayors in terms of tax reductions and how that's going to impact the city's ability to conduct operations. A lot of the gist of the conversation was there are a lot of the state representatives and state senators, as well as some of the Missouri state elected officials, that as part of their campaign promises alluded to tax cuts and that sort of thing, and they're now trying to figure out how they might go about fulfilling those campaign promises. So that's the biggest concern from the mayor's perspective, and obviously Tracy, we're taking a look at what the impact on us may very well be if in fact that some of that comes into fruition. We had the CEDC meeting a week or so ago. That went well. They are continuing to focus on the industrial development down south of town and finding potential occupants, people to move in down there and start taking up some of the space that we set aside from an investment perspective. So I feel that's going well. Jack has already reported on the CWEP board meeting, and Ron mentioned the Jasper County Commissioners meeting. For those of you that don't know, there are 3 commissioners over there. There's a presiding commissioner, John Bartosh, and there are 2 district commissioners. There's an Eastern District, which essentially is everything from Jasper County except the Western District, which is essentially Joplin. The Western District, and so my cousin Tom Flanagan was the Eastern District Commissioner. He resigned about a week or so ago for health reasons, so that seat is currently empty. I spoke with the commissioners yesterday. That will be replaced based on a gubernatorial appointment with a Missouri Senate confirmation at some time in the future, but we don't know who that's going to be, but it will be an Eastern District representative. So the good news right now, John Bartosh, of course, is a Carthaginian and sits on there as the presiding commissioner, so we're not completely without representation, but and there will be an election held next year to replace my cousin, and it may be whoever is appointed in the interim by the governor. Last thing I would comment is Jana and I had the opportunity to go to Steadley this morning and meet with 4 first grade classes. They were originally going to come to the council chambers and the city hall, but the rain kind of shied them away. So, but they were willing for us to get wet going out there. It went, I thought, very well. You really have to just take a step back and look at the amount of energy that a class of first graders contains to get an appreciation for thinking, I'm glad I'm not a parent anymore. Well, I guess I'm still a parent, but I don't have one at home. And I think when it seemed to go very well. Jana, I think, clearly is on track for re-election. Me, not so, based on the impressions we left, but it was a good time that was had by all. And that completes my report, so we'll now move on to reports of council. Derek, I'll start with you.
Yes, thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to make one quick point about that tomorrow evening's planning, zoning, historic preservation, the historic guidelines. One thing I took away from our last meeting that I think will ultimately impact us as a council body here in the future is that there's conflict between our current ordinances on the books and what the Walker Collaborative, their proposed guidelines. So it's very complex, but basically our ordinance says building can't be purple, and they suggest maybe this building should be purple. So that's a lame example, but to illustrate, we're gonna come to a point where we're either gonna have to see if there's areas of those guidelines we want, maybe not this chunk, and so forth. But ultimately, there could be some ordinance revisions or wiping an ordinance. That'll have to be worked out, but that will be something that the council would come before us. So that's why I note that maybe it'd be beneficial for council members to go tomorrow night, because it'll kind of forecast maybe to a degree what we'll see on a Tuesday night here. So
I would just add one thing to that. The Planning, Zoning, Historic Preservation Committee, who is going to be working all this, and they've already identified it's going to take several months for them to sort through what maybe the recommendations would be before they come to you with any type of recommendations.
Yeah.
Alan?
That meeting tomorrow night, could we possibly record it, since we do have the camera set up? Maybe not simulcast it. I won't be able to be here, but I would really like to watch it if we could record that, if that would be something.
I'd like to watch it too.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
All right. Michael, you got your head down there. They would like to record tomorrow night's presentation.
Oh, okay.
And I know they are providing the slide deck, so it's going to be projected, so we ought to be able to do that as well.
I got emails about stuff that we want to project today, but yeah, we can record.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
That's all for me, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. Kate?
I have a question about what you're just talking about. So I know that they're going to put ordinances in, but are all the buildings downtown going to be required to redo their building to match, or are they grandfathered in until something changes?
Derek, you want to?
Yeah, well, my understanding and based on the last meeting is there will be a grandfathered in, but there will be pretty significant changes for those, anything moving new past that.
Sure.
But yes.
Well, think of the building I own.
Sure, yeah, and another
But that
thing.
is going to change. I mean, they're going to paint that building.
Yes, so what's currently there be grandfathered in, but moving forward, anything would have to adhere to those guidelines, which obviously can bring a cost to the owner. So there's a lot of different areas that have to be kind of investigated, and tomorrow night's the start.
Well, and when you said purple, the buildings behind my former building are purple.
Oh, well, I was just making that up, but good enough.
All right, Kate, anything else?
No, that's all, except we don't have any goings on with the Humane Society anymore.
Not yet, nope.
So we can just forget.
We're working it. Gennaro?
I don't this evening.
All right. Ray?
Thank you. Dovetailing on the mayor's report, while I was at the convention in St. Charles, I went to a session that was titled festival and special events security. And the gentleman that presented there was a 30-year veteran of the Lee Summit Police Department, and he's in charge of security for their special events and also head of the SWAT team. And all of the things that he said, everything that he suggested that we undertake for any special events, we are already doing. There's only one item that we might consider at some point, but that's a very costly situation. But I just wanted to bring to attention how well that we're doing on that kind of thing and pat these gentlemen on the back and all of their crews. So,
Thank you. Anything else, Ray?
nope, that's it.
Jack?
Yeah, I had one phone call from a constituent about flags being half staff or full staff. And I think there's just an element of confusion relative to the national aspect of that. I think some of the flags were interpreted because of the Charlie Kirk incident, but then I found out later, I was told, I thought maybe it was a mandate from President Trump regarding, was it the 18th? Was the final day for half staff?
Sunday.
Sunday. So I hope that was cleared up. I called her back and told her that I'd contacted the mayor and that he had contacted you. And I did notice that some of the, well, your flags especially were up. Library was up. But she mentioned several that were, her concern was that she'd like them all to be raised to full staff so that we can all just go on and continue.
So we actually get emails and telling us when we are to lower our flags.
Well,
And that's the protocol that we're following.
well, I understand. Well, I didn't know. I didn't understand that. But her point was, I think, was the half staff was related to the Kirk incident relative, as opposed to a national mandate. And that's what I didn't know. And so that was, I think I was cleared up.
There was a mandate for the 9/11 remembrance as well as President Trump sent something out for
Yeah. So anyhow, I relayed that information that contacted you and you, so I assume it was taken care of.
Okay. Anything else, Jack?
Can I clear up one point on the,
Hold on just a second. I've gotten some messages that there's still no sound online.
It is. We can
They
hear
may
you
be
coming
lagging
in.
in their video.
I've gotten 3 different messages that said there's no sound from different people. So just letting you know.
It was and then it wasn't. I think yours is going in and out for some reason. Because sometimes I hear you through the microphone and other times just your voice.
I'm not talking about here. I'm talking about online,
Oh.
people watching, streaming. Thank you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I just wanted to clarify the Mohawk situation, the blackout was due to a computer malfunction, that it didn't notify the failure to shut down the grid at the location. This all started in Cleveland and Akron. They're 1.5 gig, and the computer didn't warn anybody, and so it was just a domino effect. It had nothing to do with hackers or anything like that. But the situation now, these guys are very sophisticated to be able to hack into systems, and we have to be very careful, and we are. And Carthage should be very proud. We have a great utility, and we got people watching out for us. Thank you.
Jack? I'm sorry, you done?
Yes, please.
David?
I had one lady contact me very recently regarding her concern about some children's safety during school hours. It's an area on Centennial between River Street and Pearl Street. There's no sidewalks through there. It's pretty narrow in spots. She said here lately there's been a lot of cars speeding through there. And she said her grandson was nearly hit by a car, I believe it was Friday. So anyway, I was going to bring it up to Chief Hawkins. I just haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, but and I do go through there quite often because my parents live down that way, and it is a narrow spot. There's area where there's a rock wall. There's not much space for anybody to walk and have cars going by at the same time. So I don't know if we can patrol that a little bit heavy for a while or get a reduced speed limit during school hours or something, but it is a safety issue for our children. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Beth?
Okay. So first, I would like to give some kudos to the Public Works and Keith Wheat. I had a resident of Ward 4 that called and wanted to have some trees looked at on Fairview and Catherine, and that were causing some visibility problems. And Keith got out there and took care of it before I ever got out to go look and see what the problem was. So I called him and I said, I think there's no problem. He said, yes, because I fixed it. So at any rate, that was very much appreciated by the neighborhood. And then last night, the water main broke on Fulton and Euclid at probably about 9:30. And we got notifications out right away. We have a little neighborhood chat thing off those streets, and then also I appreciated the fact that the water was turned off in the middle of the night. Now my cat didn't, because he drinks out of a faucet and thinks that he ought to be able to get water 24/7 that way. But it was taken care of, and really people didn't have any issues. So that was very much appreciated by several people that mentioned it this morning. And then I would like to say the chamber did a great job. There's a young man that is a great-grandson of a resident of Ward 4 who opened a business this morning well, it's been open, but they had a ribbon cutting through the chamber, and he was so proud of his plaque when I got out there to see. I stopped by in the afternoon, and it's Star Superglass that he has, and he's just got a first-rate small business, and he's young and he's very enthusiastic, and it's at 2300 Fairlawn. So it's nice to see younger people committing themselves to be an entrepreneur. And then I just got off my phone that our grand marshals are going to be Joe and Jerry Ellis for the Maple Leaf Parade. So that's well-deserved for some citizens in the area and for all that they've done for our community. So that's all.
Thank you. Ally?
Thank you, Your Honor. I wanted to mention a couple things. Our last meeting, we did go into closed session, and we did hire 2 new department heads. I wanted to just speak a little bit about Richard Bonine. I believe that he may be, at least in my recent memory, the first really outsider that we have coming in to be one of our department heads. He's coming to us from Oregon. He's got a lot of years of experience as a parks director. I believe he's going to do a great job. So I just wanted to encourage everyone to not prejudge Richard before he gets here, but be willing to step up and help him meet people and help him succeed in our parks department. I believe his personality, he did come in. I was on the hiring committee. He did come in for an in-person interview. I believe his personality is going to be something that we can all appreciate as the new parks director. So I just wanted to mention that. Secondly, I didn't get a chance, and I haven't had a chance yet to congratulate Chad. Obviously, Chief Hawkins isn't going to be retiring for a few months, so it's still Captain Deininger, not Chief yet. So I just want to congratulate Chad. Again, I was on that hiring committee, and we had a lot of good candidates, and I believe we got the best candidate for our police department. So I just wanted to mention those 2 things before we went any further. Tonight on the agenda, like I said, that there's not a whole lot that we really need to I don't think there's much to really discuss on most of the items, but I look forward to a speedy rest of the meeting. Thank you, Your Honor.
Jana?
I'm still going to talk. I enjoyed going to Steadley Elementary, and I wanted to thank Katie McCartney for inviting the mayor and myself to go and speak. I'll go any day because you walk in and they love my dress, they love my shoes, they love my lipstick, they think I'm pretty. I want to go back. So that was a lot of fun. They also want Chick-fil-A for lunch every day. And when they voted on that, and when we voted as groups, they would rather have the Wee Bridge fixed than a big aquatic park. So I'm bringing that to you, that we need to vote for the bridge being fixed for that same amount of money. So that was a lot of fun. I wanted to talk about the MML conference, some of the meetings that I went to, so you know that your tax dollars were well spent, because I think it's such a great idea to send the staff, the mayor, and council members, as many that can go to these meetings. The keynote speaker, he was a lot of fun. He said that the city should be fun, and it's one of the things that Richard Bonine said in his interview, that he's in the fun business. So we knew that we had hired the right person. I went to some sessions, understanding collective bargaining contracts, social media do's and don'ts, conflict management and ways to lead teams through healthy and unhealthy conflict, ethics, a review of Missouri's legal restrictions aimed at curbing corruption, and deep fake ahead, real fraud prevention against the AI era. They were all very informative, and I wanted to thank Miranda for scheduling us so well and taking care of us during that conference. It's appreciated. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, Ron?
Yeah. I got about a 15-foot flagpole out in front of my house, to the side of my house, and I had lowered it to half-mast based on the President's proclamation. And I called my wife Sunday evening from up there in St. Charles and told her, you need to move the flag back up to full mast. She said, I'll take care of that. I'll have David do it Monday morning. So when I got back here Wednesday afternoon, it was still at half mast, and I immediately took care of that. So one of our flags, it was at half mast those 3 days. Second, I also enjoyed the MML. Appreciate getting the opportunity to go back there. One of the individuals who spoke, I made some notes about, was what makes our city different. And that is something that our citizens need to think about. What is unique to our city? Reference the rest of the cities around us. What draws people to come to the city of Carthage based on that uniqueness? And I was thinking, and one of the things is our Route 66 stopover down there at Boots Motel. But there might be some other things that we need to improve on or look at to get that unique draw to bring more citizens to come by and visit here in Carthage. So that was one of the unique things that I've seen that I enjoyed. I also enjoyed a lot of the same ones that Jan was at. And now I got some more training to go to in Aurora here in about a month. That's all, you Mayor.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move on to reports of the officers of the city. Chief Hawkins.
Yes, thank you. So most everything I think has already been covered by Mr. Snow when he gave his report. But just to clarify, yes, we are in the process of applying for a new grant. And that deadline is coming up October 1st. So we think we have everything in line and we're going to move forward with that. I mentioned, well, before I get to that one, so the personnel issue, we're not at critical levels yet, but we do have one candidate in current background phases and we're pretty excited about that. Hopefully that works out. And then I think I mentioned at the last council meeting that we were putting together a Citizens Police Academy. We have that pretty much all in order. It will start on October the 20th. I have several applications here. If any council council members would like to attend in that, please get one of these from me. I have, I think enough for everybody, I believe. And that'll be in 8 weeks, one Monday, every Monday for 8 weeks, starting on the 20th and ending December, whatever it is, 7th, I think it is. I think that's it for time.
Okay, thank you. Jason?
Yeah, I think I talked some last meeting about some of the training we're doing because the weather's eased up. It's not 110 degrees in the shade anymore. So we did the grain bin. We had 4 guys take hazmat technician training last week and get certified. And we also did a exercise drill with Ajinomoto Foods. And now I'll have something for committee next month. They want to make a donation of some equipment to us, so we'll get that together for our next public safety meeting. We had 4 guys leave this morning to go to Silent Springs for swiftwater rescue training, and they may get their money's worth tomorrow in the Arkansas River. We had a trench rescue exercise scheduled with CWEP at the physical plant this week, but we're going to have to postpone it. The ground's just too wet. And we have some of our officers, Eli and Brian and Jody Roden, one of our battalion chiefs, and Morgan are going up to Kansas City to get some training next week on our first due reporting software so that we can get the best use of the money that it costs about $10,000 a year for that software, so for our license. So they'll be learning how to use it more efficiently and get more bang for our buck on that. The diversity of training that we participate in, it shows in the professionalism and the ability of the guys. We've had multiple bad calls in the last 6 weeks and with good outcomes and no injuries. So kudos to all my guys. I failed to mention Battalion Chief Roberts. He wasn't at the Rec Friday. He was off for his wife's birthday, but he was at the one on Fairview. And we also had a Joplin Fire Captain, Justin Slates, who lives right there and actually responded over with a fire extinguisher and put the car fire out before our guys could get there, and made it safe enough that they could extricate. And the young lady that was taken out of the vehicle, I saw is going to be coming home, so that's a good thing. We had a meeting yesterday with area fire chiefs and JASCO administration to go over radio communication protocols. We got new radios last year. Each handheld cost $7,500 that the county or the JASCO purchased for us. And we went over some of the ideas of how we operate on the radio now. We used to have our own channel. That's no more. There's just one dispatch channel and everybody has a working operations channel. Some back and forth over that. But while we were there, I happened to notice some ladies walking into the station carrying cookies, and they were from Maple Tree Terrace, where we had our little senior prom. So they brought some goodies for the guys and thanked them for coming out. And that was very nice of them. And that's all.
Is that it? Okay. Josiah?
Yeah, I just also want to thank Jason and his guys. The young man that was in the accident Friday morning is really close. I call him family. They're not really family, but really good friends. Jason and his guys were there on scene quickly. Mom and dad were right there with their child as he was trapped in that truck. And the way the guys handled themselves, I'm gonna get kind of choked up, but I don't take these guys for granted for what they do, and I know our police and fire, I don't know how you guys do your job sometimes. In that circumstance, it would be tough as a father, and the way you handled yourself kept everybody calm. And I do want to give a quick update on Trent, a young man that was in the accident. He was med flighted to Springfield we took off, got up there. We were there in the waiting room when he came out of surgery. He had 2 broken femurs, both femurs busted up, bruised liver, and some other minor injuries and bruising. Everything went perfect. He was in surgery for a little over 3 hours. Came out of that. The next day, they stood him up out of his hospital bed, and then they set him back down. He had Sunday off, and we went back up and seen him Sunday, so he was able to kind of rest a little bit. Yesterday, they stood him up, set him in a chair for a while, so he got to sit up. And today, he took walked about 5 feet already, and so he's doing really good. He's a determined young man, and which was on his way to work on his 1 day off of school. He's going to college, and on that 1 day off, he goes to work that morning and works all day. And he literally turned off his road, east on 96, sun in his eyes, dew on the windshield, and come over the top of the hill to a semi truck parked right in front of him. And when he seen it, it was too late. So, you know, that's not the way you want to. He told his boss, which his work is literally 1,500 feet down the road. And his boss came up on scene, and as he was strapped in the truck, his boss is standing there, and he turns and he says, "Jake, I don't think I'm going to make it into work today." So anyway, just a courageous, strong young man. I know he's going to come back 100% and do good things in life. As far as staff reports go, we do have 2 openings at the street department, 2 maintenance 1 tech positions. So if anybody knows any people that are qualified for that, encourage them to come down and fill out an application, see us. City projects, we have Hazel Street road widening. There was a little bit of delay. We've got the first coat of asphalt down. We're waiting for Levin's Asphalt to switch over to a surface mix, a C mix they call it. Once they begin to run that, they plan to be back here in Carthage to finish Hazel Street, and that roadway can be opened back up, and all focus will be going back over to Airport Drive. The Chestnut Street box culvert, the floor's in and the ditch walls are in. It's going to be to the point where you pour your lid and then they start tying everything together with the inlet boxes coming into the corners. So that project's coming along pretty well. Hopefully this rain doesn't slow us down too much on it. We were doing good, but anyway, the guys are finishing up periodically throughout the week. They've been touching up some of the stuff around the square to kind of get some of those grates positioned back in. There's some little bit of work that we had to change because of the design. So they're having to do some stuff to some of those grates to drop them down in place. But they'll get those in shortly. Hopefully the square will look top notch for Maple Leaf. So we've met with Sally and Vision Carthage as far as getting a game plan on dates. Going back to get the flower boxes or the planting areas filled in. And I think she's talking about maybe some mums for Maple Leaf. So you might see them full of mums all throughout those new flower beds. So that's all I have tonight.
Okay, thank you. Tracy.
Thank you. I just want to again say congratulations to Miranda on her diligence in her training. We're very fortunate to have the staff that we do, and as you can see from or hear from all of our department heads, our staff are always looking for ways to better themselves and make sure that they're up to date on all of the services that we can provide, to the community. So again, congratulations, Miranda. Thank you. That's all tonight.
Okay, we'll now entertain the report of the Claims Committee.
The Committee on Claims filed a report in the amount of $5,041,242.36.
I move we accept the September 23rd claims as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the claims as presented. Any comments? All right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Claims are accepted. All right, we'll now move on to old business.
Derek and Jana, can you please join?
Oh,
Shoot.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry about that. There we go.
And this one is the second reading of Council Bill 2544, an ordinance to amend Section 200, General Employment Policies of the Personnel Policy Manual of the City of Carthage by adding Section 208, Employment Records Policy.
Any discussion? Cast your votes.
I can't.
Oh,
Have my phone.
Council bill's adopted. Next council bill.
The second reading of Council Bill 2560, an ordinance to amend the Personnel Policy Manual of the City of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Cast your votes. Council bill passes. Next council bill.
The second reading of Council Bill 2561, an ordinance to authorize the mayor to apply for federal financial assistance on behalf of the City of Carthage and to execute any contracts resulting from such application for any grants between the City of Carthage and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission, providing for capital, operating, and/or marketing assistance comprised of federal funds to be expended for commission-approved transit projects.
Any discussion? Cast your votes. Council bill passes. Next council bill.
The second reading of Council Bill 2562, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Terra Foundation to perform a water delineation study on the South Economic Development Park land that consists of roughly 246 acres for $5,500 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Cast your votes. Council bill passes. Next council bill.
The second reading of Council Bill 2563, an ordinance amending the annual operating and capital budget of the city of Carthage for fiscal year 2024-2025 for the fire sales tax fund.
Any discussion? Cast your votes. Council bill passes. Next council bill.
And the second reading of Council Bill 2564, an ordinance amending Chapter 17, Article 7, Section 17-257 of the Carthage City Code.
Any discussion? Cast your votes. Council bill passes. We have no new business. We have no mayor's appointment, so now we'll move on to resolutions.
Resolution 2101, a resolution providing for the formal acceptance of a donation of $2,000 from Backyard Discovery to the Carthage Fire Department by the City Council of the City of Carthage, Missouri pursuant to city policy.
Any discussion? Alan?
I move we adopt Resolution 2101.
Second.
Have a motion, a second, to adopt Resolution 2101. Any other discussion? Cast your votes. Resolution's passed. I will now move on to closing comments. My only comments tonight are to express my sincere gratitude and, quite honestly, awe at both this council and the one that preceded you. If you just fast forward and you rewind just a bit, January 1 of this year, since January 1 of this year, this council and the one immediately preceded it has managed to identify and replace all 4 department directors and a city administrator, while simultaneously swapping out through an election some seats and others volunteering to come join your rank. So that is a tremendous turnover in key personnel across the city, and my hat is off to all of you. And this concludes my comments. So Janet, we'll start with you for closing comments.
I just wanted to thank Elaine Sherlock and Mark Miller for coming in tonight. We had talked a little bit with her before the meeting, and her resume is extensive on her community work, and we are very, very blessed to have her in at the Crisis Center. And for Mark, thank you for coming in and speaking. I know it's not easy to do, but we appreciate that. And Maple Leaf, the first event is October 10th, so get ready.
Ron?
I just want to again congratulate Miranda for her accomplishments.
Thank you.
That's all.
Derek?
Yes, thanks, Mayor. I was wanted to say congratulations to Miranda. Thank you to our unbelievable law enforcement and fire protection. And I saw on the agenda this evening, backyard discovery. And I'm like, where have I seen that? And then I swiftly realized it was all the stuff I've put together in our backyard. And after this evening, that's the only provider of backyard equipment that I will be moving forward with. So anyway, I'm thank and applaud Chief Martin and his team, and that was a very nice gesture by them. So thank you.
Thank you. Kate?
I just want to say thank you to all the department heads and everybody that keeps the city running, Miranda and Tracy and you, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Gennaro?
Just want to congratulate Miranda on her accomplishment, the hard work she puts through. I don't know what she does, but it might be a lot of work on what she does, but congratulate her on her accomplishment. The other thing is on the fire department, congratulate all the persons that saved that person's limbs, because working in the healthcare field, if they didn't got on time on the scene, he would not be able to walk. And thank you to all of the fire department that helped that boy.
Thank you.
And that's it.
Ray?
Yes, I also congratulate Miranda, and yes, there's a lot of work that she does, and that's all for me. Thank you.
All right. Jack?
I just want to say that my wife and I both are big supporters of the Crisis Center. We appreciate your efforts, the way it's operating, and to you, sir. Anyone that needs help, yard work, et cetera, call them. You do a great job. That's all.
David?
Good job, Miranda. Off what Jack said, I've used people from the Crisis Center, always had a good experience with that. The guys are always very friendly, very helpful, and I highly recommend them if you need a little help done on anything. I'm just proud of our city for moving forward. I think we're on the right track, and it's nice to see a full council and things getting done. That's it.
Thank you. Beth?
Yes, and Miranda, I think you're like the duck on the water. You're pedaling as fast as you can. It'll look smooth as glass on top. So thank you for that. And I think, you know, you drive around the city and you're in a different role than just living here, and you can see how much it takes the collaboration and getting things to work smoothly here, and how we cover things for each other in this community. It's pretty amazing. And first responders, it takes a special set of people to do the things that you do, and it's very much appreciated. I think I've seen that on many people's faces in very frightened situations, and it can be the difference between how somebody gets through or not, as you mentioned, Josiah. And the street department is making a lot of people happy. Every time I call, they are very happy to hear that they're getting something done. So, and we have come a long way, so, as a community, and we have more to go, and I think we're gonna get there. So, thank you.
Thank you. Alan?
So I didn't earlier mention anything about my MML experience. I attended some very good classes on collective bargaining, public works contracts, the conflict management, all those sessions were really good. I enjoy going to those. Also, it's good to be able to interact with not only other members of our council that goes, but also members of other city councils. Some of them are nearby, some of them are across the state that you get to meet. So I just wanted to say that, a great experience and glad that I attended. Miranda, congratulations. I always tell you, you do a good job, so keep it up. I just want to say, I'm not asking for tomorrow night's planning and zoning meeting to be recorded because I'm going to the homecoming parade, because I'm not going to be able to make it to the homecoming parade tomorrow night either. But tomorrow night, 5:30 from the junior high. Is that not tomorrow night? Oh, 6:30? 6:30 from the junior high to the high school is the Carthage homecoming parade. So I won't be able to make that either, but I guess if you come here at 5:30, planning and zoning, duck out a little early, you can still make it to the homecoming parade at 6:30. I was under the impression it was 5:30, so sorry about that. Okay. Okay. Also, Tigers lost last week, but hey, it was a tough game. They've been playing good. We're looking for big things this Friday. Chiefs got a big win on Sunday, so looking for big things this Sunday again. But that's all I have tonight. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to go into closed session according to section 610.021, parentheses 2, includes possibility of a vote to close part of the meeting to discuss leasing, purchase, or sale of real estate by a public governmental body where public knowledge of the transaction might adversely affect the legal consideration therefore.
I second that.
Have a motion and second to go into closed session. Any discussion? We need to do a roll call vote on this.
They can vote on their tablets.
All right, cast your
I
votes
think
then.
you sent it to them. Just give me a thumbs up.
The thumbs at work
I got
again.
a king, jack. And Derek. Yes, a yes, okay.
We got a full count?
Yeah.
All right, we'll retire upstairs for a closed session. Read the roll.
Peterson,
Present.
Gilpin. Present. Fuentes.
Here.
West.
Here.
Perkins.
Here.
Thorne.
Here.
Kane.
Here.
Snow.
Here.
Schramm.
Here.
Wells.
Here.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.
Aye, aye, aye.